Hey everyone, welcome back. Hope you guys are having a great Friday. The week is finally over with, and we ended up on a pretty good note. The miners were up double digits for them. Well, some of them were up double digits. Bitcoin is still up right now, and it's got a couple hours left to go in the day. Stock market was down actually today. We'll take a look at what's going on there. And then we only have two stories to cover today, which is Bitdeer and Iris Energy provided their production updates for June. So it's going to be a relatively quick one compared to yesterday's video. So it's Friday. You guys have something to do. We're going to keep it short, okay? But as always, you guys know the drill here. This is not financial advice for entertainment only. Please do your own research. And I'm investing in the following coins and companies for full disclosure. So let's take a look at what's going on in the markets really quick, and then we'll get into Bitdeer and Iris Energy. So if we look at the charts here on Bitcoin, or on the markets actually, we can see the S&P was down 0.29%, Dow Jones was down 0.55%, NASDAQ was down 0.04%. Bitcoin right now is up 1.32% on the day. We've had 3 days of losses. We finally had a nice green day here. And if we look at really quick the daily lines, we can see that we are bouncing off of our 20-day moving average here, it looks like. Which is good to see that is actually bouncing off of that. We'll see if that continues. The 50-day is now at our support line, and the 200 weekly is way down here. So we'll see if this support holds. If we bounce off of that, we have bounced off of it before, but we have fallen also below it as well. So we'll keep an eye on that one, see how that one does going forward. Ethereum also is kind of bouncing between right now the 50-day moving average. So it went below the 20-day moving average. It's bouncing off of the 50-day. And we'll see how that one goes as well. Here's the 200 daily moving line, which is the blue line, and then the 200 weekly line is the red line over here. So Ethereum is up right now 1.24% as it is as well. Okay, so that's those two. Let's take a look at the miners. The miners had a fantastic day today. It was nice to see. Any was up just a little bit, 1.32% on the day. Argo was up 10% on the day, which was great to see. Digital was up, down 2.64%, surprisingly. I wonder if it kind of peaked here a little bit at the 480 mark, and it's kind of been tracing back down a little bit the last 2 days, even the miners have been going up. So that's kind of interesting. Bitdeer was up 1.2% today. Bitfarms was up 4.27%. Cypher was up 10.68%. CleanSpark was up 11.32%. It was actually up much higher than that. It actually went up to $6.25. It closed at $6 on today. Cores was up 6.71% today, which was good. DigiHost was up 8.74%. DMG was up 2.43%. Greenidge had a massive move today. It was up 33.59% on the day. It was up much higher than that. It actually got up to approximately $5.62 before coming back down a little bit. So Greenidge is kind of bouncing off of this bottom here that it kind of reached back in, when was this? June 13th. And it's kind of bouncing off of that recently here. So it's kind of good to see for Greenidge. And then we got Hive. Hive was up 6.76%. Hut 8 was up 6.15%. Iris Energy was up nicely today, 9.52%. Marathon was only up 2.28%. Mawson was up 7.11%. Riot was up nice today, 14.33%. That one did really well. Soluna was down 10.39% to 19 cents. Stronghold was up also nicely today to 13.94%. It's continuing its little rally that it's having here in the last couple of days, which is kind of nice to see. And then Wolf was up as well today, 10.46% on the day, and that has been doing really well here in the last 2-3 weeks. If we look at the chart here really quick, see how far it is from, this was the middle of June right here. It is up basically approximately 106% in the last 2 weeks or so. So really good rally there in TerraWolf. Okay, let's take a look at the Bitcoin network hash rate, see what's going on there. I don't know if we have any changes on it. We are up to, let's see here, on the 7-day average to 374 million. On the 1-day average, we are down, like we were yesterday, 349 million. Okay, so not much changes there. All right, let's take a look at the stories that we do have here. The first one is going to be on Bitdeer. So this is the second month in a row that Bitdeer has provided their monthly production update, meaning that I will do a deep dive on them coming up here in the next week or so. So I'm going to do a lot of research on them, get as many numbers as I can into my spreadsheets as I usually do, go back. We may not have a lot of data on them because they just went public this past year or this year. So there might be not a lot of data, but I'll try to pull whatever I can from the information that's available to us. Okay, so that's going to be coming up, but just wanted to go over some of the information that we do have here for them for the month of June. Here's a comment from the Chief Executive Officer. Our 100 megawatt Gedu mining data center in Bakhtan is almost complete and is expected to be delivered in July. We also made significant progress towards expanding our infrastructure by initiating construction of a 175 megawatt immersion cooling data center at our Tidal mining facility in Norway, which is expected to be completed in 2025. That's kind of ways out. That's basically right now, depending on when in 2025 that gets done. We're looking at basically 1.5 to 2 years before that is finished. That is going to be basically right at the cusp of the peak of the Bitcoin bull run which is usually about 12 months to 12 to 16 to 18 months after the halving event. And they'll be right around that time frame. So if they're going to do it, that's fine that they're billing out, but I wouldn't buy any miners at that point, especially when we get into a bull run, because they're going to be really, really expensive. Wait for the bear market to come in, buy miners on the cheap then, and build out for the next, basically, bull rally. Let's see here. They repurchased a program of $1 million. We talked about this, I think, in the last update as well. $1 million is nice. 10 million would have been better. 100 million, now you're talking, right? On that one. And then here's our mining update. So in May, they were at 4.0 exahash. In June, they ended at 4.6 exahash. So this is for the self-mining. They also have Cloud Hash, basically where they lease out mining machines, and then they also do hosting. Hosting is still their biggest piece of the business here, 12.6 exahash. I wish that was flipped around, where they had more self-mining instead of hosting. But we'll take a look at the numbers when we do a deep dive on them to see how profitable hosting is for them. Bitcoin mined self-mining only, so they had 283 in May. So that's an increase. Well, it was an increase definitely from, I believe, the prior month. And in June, they're down to 239. May was increased because of the network transaction fees added to the Bitcoin rewards. That helped them out and helped out a lot of miners at that point. And let's see here, infrastructure update. So approximately 10,000 mining machines arrived at the Gadu data center at the end of June 2023, including around 8,000 newly purchased mining machines. There are approximately 22,000 mining machines currently in transit to the Gadu data center. The Gadu data center is expected to commence operations in July, so basically in this month, upon which it is expected to contribute an additional 100 megawatts to the company's aggregate electricity capacity and is expected to support the operation of more than 30,000 mining machines that are expected to supply an additional 3.3 exahash to the company's proprietary hash rate. So we don't know whether that's going to be for the self-mining part of it or if it's going to be for the part that is cloud hash rate as well. Okay, so we'll see what kind of mix we get there from that. It would have been nice if they provided, you're getting 50% on this, 50% of that, whatever it is, but that would have been nice to find out. Also, let me see, I think that's it. So it's good to, like I said, it's good that they're providing the monthly updates. I will do a deep dive on them coming up later on this week sometime. Don't know when I'm going to have a chance to get to it, but I will get to it, okay? So that's coming up. So that was easy. Let's take a look at Iris Energy here really quick as well. And this is their update for June. And here's what we have, aerial view of some of their sites. So this is Childress, operational 20 megawatt data center right now. Another aerial view there. Community Society, Mike Morris Golf Tournament. They're definitely involved in the communities, which is nice to see. Okay, key highlights. Average operating hash rate was 5,587 or 5.5 exahash. I don't like averages. I would rather see the end of the month operational hash rate, because this could mean that they were anywhere between like 5,000 or 5.8 and 5.2, right? That's kind of the average between there, somewhere along the lines. So I really would like to see the actual numbers with what is installed and what is hashing at the end of the month instead of the average. Bitcoin mined was 428. Electricity cost was 5,572 or 5.5 million. I'm guessing this is, 5.5 million. So based on the mining revenue, about 11.6 million. That's about a 50% net income on that. And the electricity cost per Bitcoin is 13,000, which is kind of what we've seen from other miners as well. Corporate updates here. So prior high performance computing HPC data center strategy revitalized. We talked about this in a previous video for them as well. They're trying to become more like Hut 8 and Hive as well. It seems like with revitalizing this part of the business. And then let's see, they're targeting expansion from 5.6 exahash to 9.1 exahash of potential data center capacity by early 2024. So that's good there that they're going to be continuing to grow. We've covered this in the past, and you guys can look at all this nice data information that they provided here for us. But that's really what we're interested in, is just seeing what's going on there with them, okay? So we look at the numbers that I have here for them. Here's Iris right now, 54.9 million shares outstanding. Stock price is about $6.67. Market cap 366 million as of today. Based on that information, they've had okay run so far in the last 12 weeks. They're up 3.1% from 12 weeks ago, 26.3% from 8 weeks ago, 28% from 4 weeks ago. Last week, they were up 1.3%. They're doing pretty good this week as well. We'll take a look at those numbers for the miners versus Bitcoin in the weekend's video. Okay, now as far as BTC production is concerned here, they were up at 508 in May, which was their largest. They're back down to 428 in June. But if we look at April and June, we still have an increase here, which is good to see. And we had obviously the network transaction fees being added to it in May. That's why they were up there above it. Okay, and then here you can see the monthly difference. BTC HODL, they don't have anything. They sell everything that they mine to fund operations and growth. BTC per exahash is actually really high for them, 76.6. Like I said, this is based on the average. This is not based on the end of the month actual hash rate that they have. Okay, here's how much they sold. BTC, they sold 428 of what they mined. Hash rate has increased a little bit here by about 87 petahash. It looks like based on the numbers that they provided. They were at 5.5 for April and May. They went up to 5.58 in June. So they did get some more miners installed. Here's our Bitcoin revenue for the last 12 months. You can see that in May, they were at 13.97 million. They're down a little bit here in June to 11.8. Nonetheless, we're still seeing a going trend upwards, which is good. And then depending on when they install more miners will depend on if the revenue is going to go down. The only way it's going to go back up is if Bitcoin price goes up higher, right? If Bitcoin price goes up higher than the network hash rate, then the revenue will continue to increase. Okay. Hash rate difference here, you can see that Bitcoin sold value, how much they've been selling last 4 quarters. We covered that in the quarterly results videos for that. Institutions increase here, so that was good. 46 institutions instead of 45. Shares went up a little bit here by about 10,000 to 11.41 million. That now accounts for 20.75% of shares being owned by institutions. We do have an increase in the buy ratings here, so we have now 2 strong buy ratings, which is the same as we had prior. But now we have 4 buy ratings instead of 3, and a 1 hold, which was the same. No underperform, no sells markets. And then price actually stayed the same for the high, $13. Average went up to $9, and the low went up to $7, which is good. As far as the miners are concerned here, as far as what we got installed here for June and operation-wise, based on what they reported, they have the 5.58 something exahash of operational up running right now. I installed some miners here. We installed 780 of these 100 terahash miners to get them to that figure. Based on that, running for 30 days, all of these things, I still couldn't get them to the 11.882 million. That's why I say I would rather have the actual numbers for the end of the month hash rate where they were, because if they were up a little bit higher, that's definitely going to help possibly generate the other 424 million that I'm missing from this. So I had to add that 424,000, sorry, that I'm missing from the total 11.882 million, which is what I got here for them, based on the number of Bitcoins that they mined and then the average Bitcoin price for the month of June. Okay, so that's kind of how I'm calculating that, and we'll see how they do going forward. But yeah, definitely would like to see the actual numbers for the end of the month hash rate instead of the average, because that is affecting my numbers right now. Okay, based on all of that, last 3 quarters was 41.4 million. Those are actual numbers or estimated numbers, because we don't have the actual numbers for them yet, because they haven't reported for Q1. I'm guessing they report every half a year, so we'll get that possibly in the next month and a half or so, and then we'll get it for June ending quarter and then March as well. And we'll get that in there. So we do have we're using an estimated Q1 quarters for 2023, and then the last Q3 and Q4 of 2022 are the actual amounts that they reported. And then first current quarter that we're in, we're looking at about 35 million, which is pretty close to where they were for the 3 prior quarters of 41 million. Combined total of 76 million, 50% net income, we're looking at 38 million. P of 15, we're looking at $10.43, and then 75% net income, we'd be looking at $15.65. They're currently at $6.67. They're trading like at a 9 PE right now. Looks like, yeah, 9.5 or something like that is where they're trading right now at $6.26. I have them at about 15 because they do have some growth, and they're going to be getting over 9 exahash by sometime next year as well. So they still have growth in them. That's why I have them at 15, and that's kind of where I see them. So they are undervalued in my opinion right now as it is. But we can see here on their hash rate that back last year, they had the special purpose vehicles with the miners where those went default. They gave those back, and obviously you can see a big drop here. About 2.5 exahash was given back to the creditors. And I think possibly they were punished for that by investors a little bit here. Also, they do have a lawsuit with the creditors on those miners for the returns on those. We'll see how that's going to play out. So there's still some uncertainty there. And I looked on their update. They didn't provide anything relating to that. So there's nothing new to report there. And that's it. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know what you guys think. Do you agree that they're undervalued, or do you think that they're overvalued? Let me know down in the comments down below. Love chatting with you guys there. Otherwise, I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend. As always, spreadsheets available to my Patreon members. That will be updated later tonight. I did update the YouTube members already with the previous screenshots for all the dashboards today. So that went out. I'll get this one uploaded as well later on, either today or tomorrow sometime. And that's it. We'll cover obviously what's going on with the miners over the weekend, and we'll take a look at how the miners performed against Bitcoin this past week as well. Okay, so that's it. Have a wonderful weekend. I hope you guys stay safe, have fun. It's summertime, which is great to be outdoors, so have fun out there, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Until then, bye.